I got my headlight bezels all sanded down, wax and grease removed, and it's all ready to be painted all black. And I'm going to be using my hot rod flats urethane, and it's mixed 4:1 with the hardener, just like if it was clear. Basically it's mixed exactly like it's clear, and that's single stage. So I'm gonna mix it up. I got my mixing cup already in there. I'm gonna do a little bit. So there's a 4:1 that I'm gonna be using. I'm not gonna be using the 0.5 because that's for reducer. So basically I go up to the number 1, and then on the next line, which is the 1, I also go up to number 1, and that's my 4:1 mixture. Mix it up, and I'm going to be using, because it's a small thing, I'm going to be using my touch-up gun. I really like how this works. It sprays a fine mist, and I'm just going to maybe do 2 to 3 fine misted coats on that, just to give it a black color. And when it dries, it'll be all satin. So I'm going to take care of that right now. So here it is. Painted them with 3 coats of satin black, and that's with the touch-up gum. So those are 3 very thin coats, just to give it coverage and a little bit of durability. And bear in mind, it's single stage, so I'm pretty much done. And then I took the liberty of also painting the jack, the original jack that came with the car, in satin black, and the base of the jack in satin black. And then the plans are for the actual rod. I think I'm going to sand it down and see if I can polish it so that it looks nice and it's durable. The jack will probably never be used because I got new chrome bumpers, and I don't think I want to you know, abuse it with a jack. I would most likely use a modern jack, like a floor jack or something to that effect, because these old jacks are not exactly stable. You know, I remember when my father had them, and they kind of don't look stable to me. So I'm gonna go with modern jacks whenever I want to lift up the car. So we'll see how they look when they dry up. Hopefully the satin will look really nice on it, and if I can polish this up, because it does look like it's just metal or aluminum, so I'm hoping that I can just polish it up. That would be sweet. So we'll see how it goes. Now while I wait till the bezels get finished, the one thing I didn't like when I put the bezel, and I noticed, is the fact that I could still see a little bit of the red around, mostly on this side and maybe a little bit on the top. And I kind of didn't like that because, well, if the bezel is black, I want everything around the headlight to be black. So what I did was I painted with a brush the whole area around the headlights on both sides with enamel paint, satin black. So that way the little bit that shows, it won't clash with the black. It'll look all black, and so that's gonna be good when that's all said and done. The rest of the front, I think I'm gonna leave it red, since it's only gonna be pretty much this much that you're gonna see, and it's gonna be in the shadow. So I'm not really worried about you know, being able to see red, because everything on the outside is gonna be black, so that it'll shadow that in and it won't stand out. Now for the cowl panel, if you saw from the other video, I stated that I was going to put some weather stripping from Home Depot, but I found that it wasn't thick enough. They don't sell thick enough foam, and the foam is not strong enough. In other words, it's really mushy. So I decided, I remembered I had some gasket material from the taillight panel. This is the leftover from the taillight gasket I used for when I installed the taillights, And so it's made out of pretty much the same material as the original factory material that was on the car, which is neoprene, some kind of neoprene material. So basically what I did was I cut what I needed and I put one on each side, and I glued it with some of my seam seal adhesive. So basically, so that you see the seam seal, that's what I use to glue it, since I had some left over from when I, did the painting of the car. Okay, so I got the headlight bezels all painted in satin, and I'm out here outside in the sun, direct sunlight, to get the best lighting, because I really want to match the bezels with the grille, and that's so far the results. I think they match. It matches pretty good. So I'm happy with the results. I'm gonna get out of the way. So that's pretty much the results. So now I get to install these on the car, and I got the whole front panel blacked out. So as you can see, I polished out the trim that goes around the windshield. And so I want to show you the base of the windshield. Notice anything? If you noticed, then you have a good eye. If you didn't notice, that's exactly what I wanted. Basically, what I'm trying to point out is that strip of vinyl going all the way across on the bottom of the windshield. And I'll show you the back in a minute. Basically, if you've been watching my videos, when they put my windshields on, the man that did the urethane, he didn't do a very good job. And because these windows don't have that dot matrix border all the way around like modern cars, I decided to make one out of vinyl. So I had ordered some vinyl, and I ordered a whole roll, because I couldn't just order a little bit. I had to order a whole roll. So I ordered a whole roll, and my plan was that when I finally am ready to put the trim on, I was going to put that strip of vinyl. So now, how did I get it so perfectly straight? Basically, I knew that I wanted it an inch from the base of the windshield upwards. So I took 1-inch tape and I went across the whole bottom of the windshield, using the bottom of the windshield as a guide to keep the tape perfectly straight. Then I took another 1-inch tape and put it right above the first 1-inch tape. After that was done, I removed the bottom 1-inch tape and I was left with a gap. Then I took my vinyl and basically used the 1-inch tape that's on top that I have left over as a guide to place my vinyl down. And then basically I just trim it on the sides. And so I have the trims on the windshield as a mock-up, because I don't have the clips yet. As you can see, I still got to get the clips, but I wanted to make sure that I liked how that looked. And let's show you the back. Here's the back windshield, and this is the one that was a major problem. And you can see the strip going all the way across. Same procedure, and again, the trim is all nicely polished out. And I did the trim by hand. It was in great shape, so I was able to polish it out by hand, because I was kind of afraid to put it in a machine, because these pieces are nice and long and they're kind of flimsy. You know, in the fact that they're long and they kind of flex easily, and I didn't want to risk ruining them because these are a little bit expensive. So what I used to polish them was just a rag and my Blue Magic metal polish cream. As you can see, it came out really nice. Really nice. You can see that reflection. So that was one thing, it took me a couple hours to polish all those pieces by hand, but well worth it because they came out beautiful. So now, the other thing that I accomplished was the weather stripping around the doors. As you can see here. So, I got them installed. So I'm happy with the results of that. And now the doors are pretty much complete. They have the weather stripping, it has the run channel, and then of course it has the felt strips. And I also did, back here, let's open up the trunk here. I took care of the weather stripping for the trunk. So there's the weather stripping. So there it is. And now I'll show you the jack. Let's get some lights. Okay. There's a jack. And as you can see, I polished it. And so it's not perfect. Let's get rid of some of the lights so you can see. See the reflection. It's not perfect. To get it perfect, I would have had to really sand it down. You can see the pitting in there. I would have had to really sand it and then get it really smooth and then polish it out. And I didn't want to go through all that trouble because it's just a jack and I'm never going to use it. At least the plan is to never use it because I don't really trust that jack as far as stability goes. So I just wanted it to look nice, and pretty much there you can see it looks really nice in there. And the trunk's going to be redone. The trunk's not going to be like this. I plan on maybe doing some that truck bed coating, that rubberized undercoating that they put on the back of truck beds. What is it called? Raptor or something like that. I plan on doing that for the entire trunk, and then on the bottom here I'll possibly put carpeting down to cover up my sound deadener that I put on there. So now what's left is the front grille, which is the whole point of this video. There's the results, and I'm very happy with the way it came out. The bezels, they match nicely with the grille, and I'll give you a closer look. So you can see there, pretty good. It matches pretty good. And so I got my extensions also installed. You can see that there, and I like how they came out. So that's installed on there. It's actually the filler panel extensions, and then the metal filler panel, which is right here, this one, actually gets installed with the bumper, and this goes on top of that filler panel, and then the filler panel goes all the way across on the bottom here. So you can see here I transferred my trim pieces for the marker lights, and I polished them out, so you can see the polish. And there's the other one. So that came out really nice, and I'm very happy. Now when you're looking at the car, I was thinking about the red. I did state earlier that I'm not going to paint those black, and you can see now that the car is fully done, you can't really see the red behind that grille. There's just this much on this side and hardly nothing on that side, and then of course the emblem covers up the center. So I'm very happy with how it looks. Under this trim piece here, and you know, under all this will be the chrome bumper. So that's going to look sweet when that comes in. So now what's left to do is, as you can see, the marker lights. They're not installed. And the marker lights that come on these 74 and of course the 73s are this orangey looking thing. And if I was to install that in there, I don't really like the way the orange sticks out like a sore thumb. I mean, it really shows a lot. being that it's a yellowish orange on top of black. So now what I like is the clear ones, but unfortunately the 1974-73 models didn't come with clear. So I have some ideas as far as how I'm going to make this clear, but that is going to be left for another video. So this is pretty much done. The cowl panel is done, the trim is pretty much there. I just got to get the clips to finish that off. I'm very, very happy on how this is turning out. So until the next video, thank you for watching.